Good morning. In this video, I'm talking about how I document my sleep patterns and my sleep quality every night. So let's get right into that, but first, let's roll the intro. There is no intro yet. You can't manage what you don't measure. That's what Tony Robbins said. And to be honest, I found in my own life that anything that I set out to do has failed if I don't measure the process and the outcomes against a goal. And for that reason, I'm a fan of what Tony Robbins said there. And so I'm applying it to this self-experimentation approach to, achieve a better life and that hyper focus that I want throughout the day. What I've done is create a journal, a sleep journal, that I use to document my sleep performance the night before, but I document it every day. And so let's just hop right into the journal so you can see what it is I'm talking about. So here it is. This is the sleep journal, and it's super basic. I don't try to make anything too complicated here. Luke's sleep journal. You've got different dates down here. I've been fooling around with the dashboard, but it's not quite finished yet. So here it is. The first column is the date. You can see some days I miss. I don't kick myself when I miss a day. I just skip over it and move on to the next day. Going on to the next column here, sleep time. This is when I go to sleep. And I've set it up so that I can subtract it from wake time here when I woke up the next day and then get the total amount of sleep hours. Just create a little formula there so that I could track that. Next is sleep inhibitors. If there was any things that I did the night before that led to, that could potentially lead to sleeping poorly that night, I write it down here. For instance, beer at dinner, 4 beers before bed. That's a lot. I mean, before bed here is a relative term, but you get the idea. Anything that could potentially lead to not sleeping well. Screen time before bed. This is like looking at the iPhone, while I'm in bed or just before I get into bed. A movie before bed. Maybe I watched a movie in the bed. So that's kind of the behaviors that are inhibiting sleep. And then the sleep inducers. I haven't started really implementing these yet into my daily schedule since I've been creating this sleep journal here. So you'll see in December I start marking more sleep inducers around December 12th here. So marking the nighttime routine, doing morning light in the morning, keeping a good sleep schedule. Mid-sleep wake-up, this is simply just documenting if I woke up during the middle of the night at all, and then how many times. If it's more than 2 times or 3 times, and if it's more than I can remember, then I just write multiple times. And then if I have a reason that I can remember, I wrote room, whatever that reason is. This was room was too cold, restless legs, uncomfortable with no covers. I think my wife stole the covers. There was a dog barking and the baby crying. So yeah, just different reasons there. Dreams, I like to track my dreams just because it's an indicator of REM sleep. And so I write down how many dreams I had. Sleep quality, you can see how I'm measuring sleep quality. It's a scale of, let me do this. There's a scale of 1 to 5, and it's self-reported, and these words are based on how I feel that they mean, what I feel that they mean. So terrible, bad, okay, good, or great. And I've given each a number so I can track the increase or decrease over time. The idea here is that I keep the words basic, so I'm not getting too specific with definitions, and I can just say, okay, my sleep was terrible, sleep was bad, and those have their own meaning to me, and I can kind of gauge what the quality of my sleep is based on that. That way, if you take this and want to apply it to your own sleep documentation, then you can put your own meaning to these words. What the threshold between, let's say, bad and okay is. Feeling when wake up is also on a 5-point scale. Let me show you that. This one is exhausted, tired, okay, awake, and let's go. Now, This is simply how I feel when right when I get out of bed. Am I exhausted? Am I just a little tired? Yeah, I'm okay. Am I really awake, or am I just amped for the day? And again, these are self-reported. These have their own meanings to me, and I know what that threshold is for me. Feeling during day, this is a big one because this is why I want to do this sleep study, is to improve my performance during the day. And so I've also put this on a 5-point scale, and this one's a little bit more defined because it's around that focus and energy level question. And so, the first one is, am I lazy, unfocused, and slow throughout the day? Second one is, do I have periodic moments of focus and energy, but really it's not a lot. Is it 3, an even split between tired and focused and energized? Or is it just mostly 4, focused and energized? Or is 5 is just like I am unreal amounts of hyper focus throughout the day? And you can kind of see how that's been going here. Still pretty low on the charts there. So we're hopefully over time, over the next 6 months as I do this, I can start improving these numbers and increase them. And then notes or anything I want to note from the night or the previous day. Like try to get to bed at 10, but had a meaningful conversation in bed with my wife. So this was, prevented me from sleep. A meaningful conversation can be a sleep inhibitor, and it's actually on the list of things. Not talking about something too deep before bed, or not thinking about something too deep. This one I had a late night call for work. Just kind of noting down reasons. This will help me to understand kind of trends in the behavior, anything I can address in the future. So that's a sleep journal. Now, I'm by no means a scientist, and this by no means will work for everyone, but I believe this simple daily evaluation will help me to track my sleep patterns and then measure the effectiveness of new habits, and potentially identify pitfalls in my plan and then take action on improving those pitfalls. My method for tracking is super simple. It's just to update the journal first thing in the morning, which actually brings me to another benefit of keeping this sleep journal, is that it's a daily reminder of my goal to improve my sleep quality for better focus and energy throughout the day. And it's a way to keep me motivated and focused in a single direction, and then also to keep those bad habits at bay. This is definitely not a finished journal. I'll be adding to it and improving it over time as I use it. You can have access to it. I'll leave a link in the description, and the link will always lead to the most up-to-date version of the journal. It's not going to have my details filled in. I'll leave a few just as an example so you know how to use it. You can also make a copy of it to make it your own, and start adding your own in and put your name and say Dave's sleep journal. Hey Dave. But yeah, so you can have access to it. If you do take advantage of using the journal, make sure you smash that thumbs up button on this YouTube video. There's no reason why you shouldn't. And then leave a comment and let me know how it's improving your sleep or leading in that direction on your sleep journey. So the metrics that I'll be specifically tracking in this self-study are the hours of average sleep per night, the sleep quality, the feeling when wake up, and the feeling during the day. And then looking at the trends and the new behaviors between those sleep inhibitors and the sleep inducers, and looking at their influence on my sleep performance. And that's what I'll be reporting on in these weekly videos that I put out. So every week I'll report based on the trends in the sleep journal on the new sleep inducer or sleep inhibitor that I'm analyzing that week. And so that being said, this is the end of these kind of foundational videos explaining how I'm documenting and how I'm coming up with what I'll be focusing on. From here on out, it's just going to be experimentation. So you got to make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted when the newest video with the newest experimentation is released. And here's to better sleep. Remember, drink responsibly because your sleep depends on it. I'll see you in the next video.